So, here's your new grid for the race today. So, Fernando Alonso is on pole position, out of nowhere, pulled that one out of the bag, with Robert Kubica alongside the Absolute Units Team Polska. Nelson Piquet in P3 for the fast Brazil car, while Daniel Kvyat lines up in P4, despite struggling in Australia. Mika Hakkinen makes it P5 in the Auradine car with Nigel Mansell in P6 for the generic Brexit pensions team, around where they would be. Tom Fittipaldi on the fourth row. Giacomo Agostini is in fact the leading Prema, and Alan Foster leading French Baguette, in what is a disappointing quali for both teams as they line up in 9 and 10. Jackie Stewart P11, which he won't exactly be happy with, while Marco Asmat does well as the backmarker team makes it up to P12. Tiago Monteiro, what a performance deficit as his teammate lines up P1, but the Portuguese driver lines up P13. And the same goes for Mario Andretti, who will be devastated with P14 and will look to be making up positions in the race. Jean Lacey, the same goes for him, far off the pace of his teammate, and not very far off the pace of where French Baguette normally is. Ralf Schumacher P16, Marco Martin in P17, Sergei Sorokin 14 places behind his teammate P18, Andreas Suber is the lead Arab at P19, Robert Lucas 18 positions behind his teammate P20, so he will be very, very upset with that. Tony Kanaan on the back row alongside Toby Stibbles, who shockingly qualifies last. And that's your grid for the Malaysian Grand Prix.
So, and also it's not random grids. It just shows how close the grid is in the Nations Cup. Even teams that are not as high ranked, or drivers that are not as high ranked, are able to get some good positions. Like, okay, we are just only top drivers in the top 10, because even Kvyat is top 10.
And to be fair, Fernando Alonso.
Well, he is around P8 in my estimated thing. Well,
and to be fair, that's decent of him to get pole.
Well,
so anyway,
everything can happen in the Nations Cup.
We look forward to it.
And
it's going to be wet, dry.
Of course it's wet. It's Malaysia.
Dry to Inter to wet and back to Inter. So this could be a very strategic race. This is going to be a classic.
What the fuck is that weather? Oh my god.
Everyone could win now. Maybe
I don't know what I was expecting in Malaysia. Of course it's going to be shambolic weather. You know.
This something like this can't be happening again. That losing the qualifier.
Well, I'm not exactly upset.
No, I am.
Well, I am, because I built the mod and everything is supposed to work like it's supposed to.
1 red light, 2 red lights, 3 red lights, 4 red lights, 5 red lights, and we are away for the race. Terrible stuff. Fernando Alonso as Robert Kubica pulls alongside and gets past with ease, and that is now the car of Nelson Piquet trying to pull alongside Alonso. Will he get P2? I don't think he will. And in fact, Alonso drives it back up the inside of Kubica into P1.
Around him. What the fuck?
Around him. Amazing stuff there from Fernando Alonso.
Oh, that car is quite good in the race, isn't it?
He keeps the lead. And hopefully Kubica will want to be challenging the Spanish driver. There's an Oraline car trying to make a move. So, your order is Alonso, Kubica, Piquet, Kvyat,
so
and Hakkinen.
The same top 5, I believe.
It has. So Hakkinen is trying to get past Kvyat a lot here. And that is a generic Brexit pensioners car trying to move around the outside of Tiago Monteiro, and in fact succeeding. Overtakes happening through the field. And we're back on board with our leader here as he heads down the hill towards the final sector. Fernando Alonso, who is not exactly pulling away from Robert Kubica. The two are still quite close together. Prost has fallen to P17, not sure what's happened with him. He's had an awful weekend so far. As Piquet up the inside of Kubica, these two teams have had a lot of crashes, and in fact, he's made the overtake sick this time, but Kubica will try to come back now. Pulls to the left, will try and move around the outside into turn 1. This is all allowing Fernando Alonso to get away. Kubica re-overtakes successfully and is back into P2. I'm the only one here again. Great. And there's that little lock-up or something from Andreas Uber. And he spins!
No.
He spins!
Fun.
And Stibbles is no longer in last place. He's in P22.
Donut that was. Nice pirouette.
Stibbles famously did 3 donuts in the wet grass here.
At that corner, actually, so.
Yeah. Yeah, famous moments from GP4. As we see Nelson Piquet right on the gearbox of Robert Kubica getting stuck there. There's a French baguette car. I think that was Jean Lacey, in fact, leading one. In P12, stuck behind one of the Baltic cars. He will be very frustrated. The championship leaders have just lost so much pace today. What has gone on with them?
I wonder why.
Anyway. Another move on Robert Kubica. Robert Kubica, I think he hung it around the outside, but the camera cut away, so we're not sure. Here's a Prema trying to move on Mansell. Doesn't work. As Alonso sets the fastest lap. And here's some battles between, I think that's Prost and Stewart. No, Lacey and Stewart, sorry. For P13. Neither of these drivers expected to be so far down, to be honest. As we get an official announcement from the stewards here, they say they are sorry for losing the starting order, but nothing can be done. And as such, we will continue with the race. There's yellow flags on track at turn 4. It's Lacey. What happened to him?
Just outbroke himself, I think. I was watching.
Oh. Get a replay.
Yep.
Of what happened to Lacey.
He's just gonna see it. Yep.
Oh,
there's another car.
Oh, it's Christensen and Lacey. So let's take a look.
No, it was separate. I think he's just 2 cars off at the same corner.
Oh, 2 cars off at the same corner. That does happen a lot, actually. And Lacey, neither of them lose their front wing, which is quite lucky. Kubica did lose his front wing at this track, famously back in pre-season. Anyway, we are back live now. Jean Lacey stuck.
The Orlean lost rear wing.
Oh, what happened there? Did they crash into each other?
I think he went rearwards into the barrier, I think.
Oh.
Lacey just stopped for a minute and a half, and he's now about...
Christensen continuing, or is he out? We'll have to take a look.
I think he's trundling back to the pits. Probably not.
He's still in the race, despite having no rear ring. So... Anyway, that promotes Stibbles all the way up to P19. Amazing stuff from Toby Stibbles, the Scot racing from the German team.
Total sense.
I don't know. Just obviously back on board with our leader here, lap 4. That's Emerson Fittipaldi on, I think that would be Jackie Stewart, who has actually moved up to P11, so he's made some good overtakes off camera. But Kubica now starting to pull away from Nelson Piquet in P2. So he will be going after Fernando Alonso quickly now. So the rain is coming, as we saw on our radar at the start of the race. So that will mix things up a lot.
Quite spread out, everybody.
As we moved now to the team principal of French Baguette Racing, they have been really far down the order, and both drivers are currently outside the points in what I believe, actually no, it's a 10-13 for the team, but this is not where the championship leaders thought they would be going into Sepang. So, what do you think has gone wrong for your team so far this weekend, Mr. Abbey Bull?
Merde, 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 merde.
Oh, right. Well, thank you for offering these insightful comments, Mr. Abbey Bull. It was great talking to you.
Interesting. Just waiting on the rain now. Not much going on.
The rain. There are clouds over the track, though, so it is coming.
Well, it's Malaysia. There always are clouds.
But like the other one, as we get a very nice view of the HSBC sponsorship on the back of the Arab car. Makes sense that a Chinese bank would be sponsoring an Arab team.
Yep. Just logic of Nations Cup.
Of course. A lot of moves attempted into that hairpin of what I believe is turn 9.
None of them successful.
None of them successful. I don't know why drivers keep attempting.
Alonso quite far into the lead.
He is building a bit of
into the back in last. So
Christensen is in fact in last. Lacey, I believe.
Christensen is virtually out. Really.
Yeah. There's no point Christensen carrying on.
I don't think Alessi should carry on either, but you know that's not my job.
So yeah, we move back to the leader of the race, Fernando Alonso.
We've got an announcement from the weather guys as they're saying that rain is coming from lap 10 to 20. Amazing. So, only 4 laps to go until rain.
Conditions are hard to read, of course, as usual.
Yes, unpredictable as ever.
Team principal of Red Bull Algarve Motorsport contacts us and says he is really, really pleased. Miguel Malvero, the team principal, says he's very, very happy with Alonso's performance so far and will be looking to give him a good strategy in the rain, as we expect, to be honest, so he can keep the lead. It has been a great race for Alonso so far, and a weekend full stop. We haven't seen him with this much pace before. As we see,
not much happening in the top 10.
Not many battles, but
as I say that, there's a move for 10th, and Andretti on the outside of one of the quite nice moves.
And that was a good move if he got it done. Did he?
Which we don't know because you're looking at Stibbles. Great.
Oh, Schumacher finished P2 last time. So podium finisher, and this race he's down in P16. So not great from him at all. Not as poor as his teammate though. Toby Stibbles still down in P19 as a continuation of the whole of pre-season, and Australia still yet to score a point.
Alonso, commanding drive.
And the other end of the field, Alonso. As Prost tries to move for the points, doesn't get it done. That is, I believe, that is definitely one of the Prema's holding P10 of Mario Andretti, that is, getting the teams alongside 8 given by Giacomo Agostini.
Interesting battle for P15. Sort of everybody that's a back marker sort of crammed into this small space. Oh, that's a car going wide there. It's Zuber, I believe. Lucas trying to get away.
Andres Zuber.
Didn't manage to get
past. That is Robert Lucas trying to get past Tony Kanaan for P17, the back marker group. At the back.
Excellent.
So good stuff there.
Oh, Montero off.
Oh, Thiago Montero.
At the entrance of the pit lane, I don't think that was his intention, but he just slid off the final corner. He's ended up on the gravel track.
He's not out of the race though. He's moving. He's moving.
Not out of the race. Is he beached?
I thought that was Fernando Alonso for a second.
No, he's just wait. And he drove into the wall and he's lost a wheel.
Thiago Monteiro has just
Driving
moved into
from
the wall
Portuguese.
and ended his race.
Really proving the country proud, making the country proud. I'm sure Miguel will be ecstatic that his drivers.
In principle, Miguel Malveiro will be gushing about Alonso after the race. Not sure he'll be the same when talking to his driver, Thiago. Okay. Anyway, as we pass over to the team principal of Orlean Team Nordic Racing, Hauke Carlson. So tell us, what are your thoughts on your race so far, Mr. Carlson?
Well, we are pleased with the result that where is Häkkinen running right now in P5. But we are thinking about replacing Christensen with one of our reserve drivers for round 3 to see how he is handling the car, because it looks like Christensen is just overwhelmed with how the car is built, and he just has too much problems. He's always behind in qualifying, and he crashed out again, lost his rear wing, but
Of course. I mean, what are you going to be saying to Tom
Contact.
Christensen? Oh, contact there. But yeah, what are you going to be saying to Tom Christensen after the race? After he's gone off wide, gone down to last place, been behind his teammate all season, all of pre-season. What will you be saying to him?
well, one of the things that are important in our team is a healthy relationship with the drivers. So we are not going to accuse him of driving the car into the gravels on purpose or something like that. We are going to give him more time testing the car in simulators or something like this. But we need to look into the championship and see that we are in a good position, and that our car isn't as slow as it looked like in round 1, and we just don't want that he is out of form because of the things we say. So we need to look into the right words we are going to say to him.
Right, well, thank you for your words, Mr. Carlson. Great talking to you. As we saw during the interview, Kubica is now catching up to Alonso slowly. So could he challenge for the win? And of course, we're on lap 10 now, so the rain could start falling any minute. As in fact, I thought I saw a few droplets on screen there. Or was that just an illusion?
The sky's looking pretty blue, quite cloudy actually here.
There's more and more clouds as Prost has made it into the points.
Wow, what are
As I believe Montero was in P8 or something when he crashed.
No, he was
So I think that,
12 or something like that.
I don't know. Well,
Close.
either way, both Kramer and the Prost are in. Both Andretti and Prost are in the points now. So I think they both maybe just overtook Emerson Fittipaldi there, who is in P11. Either way, stuff for looking to make some overtakes now. He's a fast driver, of course, as we saw by his dominant win in Australia. But he's looking so off the pace today. I have no idea what has gone on with him.
Look at the rear wing.
We can confirm that Thiago Monteiro was in P9 before he crashed.
So yeah, that was.
And so that is why both Prost and Andretti are in the points now. As always, remember to send us your race reactions with the hashtag Malaysian GP4. As we get a great view of the rear wing and it switches to PK. So we get
Go on.
we have some reactions now. Hashtag Malaysian GP4. The race was good till now. I hope rain is coming soon. And looking at the sky, it will be. And this will make the race very interesting. Fernando Alonso, potentially, his win will be challenged. So yeah, could be an interesting one. A little action through the field currently. Sky doesn't seem to be getting any cloudier, but that is Alonso. On warm tyres, still setting the fastest lap.
So he's got really good pace.
What I'm thinking, what if some of the drivers pit just before the rain comes and ruin their race entirely? Because we see that happen sometimes. So
Is that Fittipaldi? No, that's PK. He's in a quite distant P3.
the cameras do like PK for some reason.
Not much going
A bit
on.
like they focus on Lewandowski for 6 laps straight in Malaysia many races ago.
Must be a thing with this circuit, I don't know. Alonso's
Maybe.
seconds over Kubica.
So in fact, I think Kubica has reduced the gap somewhat,
But he
because
really
it was 8 or 9 seconds at one point. So he's not letting Alonso get too far away.
Meanwhile, not much going on. Oh, Alonso into the pits.
Alonso's into the pits. So
Not
could he have
going
bottled the
on
race
too
with it if the rain comes immediately?
So Miguel
Has he ruined it, or will it pay off? Will he be fast?
Miguel's
As we get some fan reactions, hashtag Malaysian GP4. Will Lewandowski get a drive in this season? Well, it's up to Polish team principal, Ogarek, Hakkinen, and Nigel Mansell have also pitted.
Quite a few people into the pits. PK
That
stayed
gives Kubica the net lead, and if the rain comes now, that's given him the permanent lead. Has race leader Fernando Alonso bottled it? The rain is expected to come shortly, but it seems to be mysteriously not here, almost like it was in Australia. It just didn't come. And the same looks to be happening here. More than a third through the race.
taking
All that's
wide line.
the other overline of Hakkinen. No, that is Christensen,
Yes.
who keeps on making mistakes.
PK
PK from P3.
from a net P3, he was
Sorry.
sort of P2.
From a net P3, he pits from P2 on track. And that's giving Fiat P2 now, so it's an Eastern European 1-2.
Andretti into the pits from, it says P12, but we can't really trust that.
So, the rain, where is it?
So the race just decided to fuck off, to be honest. Oh, there goes Prost.
Oh, that's Prost, that is Prost.
And he's
Is he out of the race? He's out of the race, that's a tyre. Prost has bottled it.
That was very unpredictable.
So, yellow flags as Prost's car gets dragged off the track. Drama there. Had he done that in Australia, that would have been much more, many more losses for the French team. As it was, they only lost 2 or 4 points or something like that. But as it is now, it could be a lot worse. As we see Fittipaldi pitting, so potentially sacrificing his race. Unless, of course, the rain ends up coming later on, and they make the undercut work. Kubica, I think that is, leading the race lonely in P1 from Daniel Kvyat, massive gap. Steward announcement, results will count once the finish line is crossed by Kubica or the race leader to start P17. What am I on about? On lap 17. So yeah, not long to go now for Kubica's win to start counting. If it goes the Polish way, the Polish team's way. Stibble's up in P13. I don't think he's pitted yet, but he is doing well. No one expects him to be any higher than P18, so it's a shock to see him up this high, holding up Hakkinen and one of the generic Brexit pensioners' cars.
Pit at the end of this lap.
And that's car pitting. I think that was just Andreas Uber. Daniel Kvyat and Robert Kubica are still hoping the rain will come very soon, although it doesn't look like it's happening. The rain just seems to have gone away, which is quite strange. As my colleague Mr. Rodrigo Torres seems to have gone away. He's gone.
Wow.
So it's just me for a bit.
Hey, maybe he's an FBR fan and he's just depressed right now and
Yeah, after the Prof's crash, I don't blame him. And Lacey pits, Agostini pits as well from P3. And Robert Kubica has finally given in to the fact that there will probably not be rain for a while. And pitted, leaving... Oh, Kvyat has also pitted now. So, I believe everyone has pitted. And will the overcut work for Kubica now? Or have the other drivers placed in an overwhelming overcut on them? Sorokin, in fact, now leads the race, I think, as he's the only one who hasn't pitted. Marco Martin hasn't pitted either, he's in P3. So this whole race revolves around when the rain starts to come.
well, it's coming later than expected, but
It's unexpected, as it did in Australia. As it rained just after the race.
it was announced 30 to 45 minutes after the start, so it was supposed to come around lap 10 to 20, but
Oh. I'm...
Alonso made the right strategic call, it seems.
He did. He's got a massive undercut on Kubica now, and unless Kubica can make good use of his fresher tyres, he will be stuck in P2 for a long while. Ruth Pitts climbing down from the lofty heights of P13 down to P18. Shame for him. Is Marco Martin and Sergei Sorokin both pitting now, finally. They will have been undercut quite a bit by their competitors. That is, I believe, Fernando Alonso is in front of Kubica, so he didn't really get the undercut done. No net time was gained or lost. And Kubica will now start to catch. Oh, Giacomo Agostini. He's hit the wall. The Prema.
And again, Prima fucked it up. My god. Really, it's like Ferrari in real life. They are bottling it all the time.
Prema.
Oh, you can keep going. You can keep going with.
Oh,
this after
he has no rear wing. He's only got half a rear wing, but he's still going.
What a mad lad.
As we get some fan reactions from the team principal of Prema, he has said, "This is literally impossible. I haven't finished the race yet."
And still does the same. He wanted to copy Agostini.
He's not exactly happy.
Why is everyone stop watching when their drivers are crashing now? Come on.
It was an Audi as well. An Audi crashed as well. So I think that's probably
That
Ralph
was
Schumacher or...
It was Stibbles.
Oh, it was... I am shocked.
I can't do anything against it that the drivers are crashing out.
Him is getting properly upset in chat.
Well, my oil line drivers are doing shit
Just
nearly
gonna
every
stop
day
watching
too.
that for a moment. Nah, because it's every race.
Their time is coming.
So he...
Or maybe they need to change their livery away from Ferrari. Maybe it's cursed. I don't know.
I know, you know, they've got a Ferrari livery. They're always going to good finishes. Pitting after the crash, Stibbles went off at the same corner in an unrelated incident. That seemed to happen quite a lot. Emerson Fittipaldi locks up and loses a bit of time to Andretti behind, who is now in P9. It doesn't seem to be catching up to a race leader, surprisingly, despite having much fresher tyres.
Well, the team principal of Prima is very optimistic. He says that
Yeah,
Andretti is going to bin it in a few minutes.
Teams are quite upset, quite affected by the events. The rain still isn't here, somehow.
Now we are now have
Stibbles has
left
bit. He's finally not in last anymore. He's now P18. Amazing stuff.
Amazing. He's a goat. He's the goat. Absolutely.
Is the GOAT.
So which team is having the worst race right now? So Asthma for Baltic Tax is in the points.
Emma isn't having a great race. They've only got 2 points. Baltic has only got 1. French Baguettes Racing Championship lead actually have a 15 DNF right now, so they're scoring a net 0 points. So yeah, just all around bad day for them. Same for West Aldi Motorsport, who I believe are somewhere like a 13-20 for Schumacher and Stibbles.
Yes, after
They are, I believe, something like P2 in the championship. So the top 2 in the championship are both going to score 0 points, as are their teams. So shocking stuff there. This means that Robert Kubica, if he finishes anywhere from P4 or higher, he will be in the lead of the championship.
Oh, he is proving that his pace in the preseason wasn't just something that was out of the ordinary.
He's very consistent, the man, and fast, in fact. Good stuff from the pole, who people did doubt after preseason, but he's proving all of those people wrong. With yet another podium. He's running a podium currently.
So, is your colleague coming back maybe, or is he going to stay away and... Or maybe he's trying to reach out to Prost and telling him not to crash the next time, I don't know.
He has been taking a while though. I think he's just gone. Dead.
Dead.
So upset.
Well, it's sad that people are leaving the stream because of their drivers crashing out, but I think it's the same with the real F1, so... My online cars are doing shit all the time. One time now Hackingen isn't doing shit, but I don't want to jinx it.
Yeah, true. I don't really want to jinx Kubica, but he is in fact catching Fernando Alonso really well. So good stuff there. Ends in about the past 2 laps. So if he carries this on, he will be right behind him by about lap 27. And we know how easy overtaking can be in Malaysia. Brexit pensioners cars now. Team ordered, again, attached to each other on the track. Inseparable, Mansell and Stewart are.
They remind me a bit of Hamilton and Alonso 2007.
Indeed. Team rivalry for sure, as that is in fact Fittipaldi launching one down the inside of Stewart. Can't get it done though.
So Prima's gone 2, I think, or it looks like it.
So this race could flip everything we expected for the championship right upside down again.
It just shows how close the grid is.
Indeed, this is a very good series for that. And that's Fittipaldi up the inside of Stewart now for P7, but Stewart might come back at him alongside this straight. As we know, exit out that hairpin is key. Fittipaldi defends though as he pulls to the other side of the track. They switch and Stewart can't get it back, and Fittipaldi is into P7.
One of the things that I'm curious about is if Mansell and Stewart are going to keep it safe in the races, or if it's going to end like with Alonso and Hamilton in 2007, that they take the Drivers' Championship away from each other.
Yeah, I mean, they are going to get in each other's way quite a bit, and there could be quite a bit of drama between the two. That could be something to focus on over the course of Season 1. Just have to see. It's early days, of course, and it's happened in 2 out of 2 races where the 2 Brexit pensioners cars are right next to each other.
Also for
Stewart was behind on both of those occasions.
Also for Prima's question, where's the rain? I don't know. I don't know. I need to test these things out when I have time now. Also with the quali saving file, I need to check if this bug is occurring every time, or last time it didn't occur. So last time I could just save, head out of the game, go into the game again, load it, and everything was fine. But this time,
Be some sort of glitch where the rain just doesn't come.
we need to look at the sky. I think it's pretty good simulated in GP4, so it doesn't just jump from blue sky into rain.
I know GP4 is quite
It was ahead
good
of
for
its
that
time.
sort of thing.
It's still cloudy like it was in Let 1. The rain was
Exactly the same conditions as we had 24 laps ago at the start of the race. There's a train of cars here actually, from the Audi of, I think that's Schumacher, down to the Prima of Agostini,
isn't
who is actually
left?
caught back up the rest of the pack.
Or could also be Stibbles who's being lapped, I don't know.
Really, I think it is Stibbles who is being lapped and holding up
There are no
P5,
blue
P6,
flags.
P7, P8.
Damn.
Yeah, that is in fact Stibbles just being extremely slow and holding up everyone from about P6 to P9. With Andretti at the back and Mansell at the front. It is indeed. Mansell comes to lap Stibbles here, and Fittipaldi, Stewart and Andretti still line up behind. Jean Alesi, what a poor race this man has been having. shocking stuff. P15 he is in. No one expected him to be this low. Behind Tony Kanaan, just ahead of Robert Lucas. What has been going on with this man?
Didn't he crashed out once?
Oh, of course, he did.
I bet he's now also overtaking Stibbles, or is he? Yeah, he is.
Yep, and they are now all through.
It's going to be a good
Ahead of
fight for P6, maybe.
We could see quite a bit of drama here.
Especially when rain is coming, because the drivers are handling the rain really differently. Some are going as fast as they were before, and some are slowing down. I can't really adjust these values.
Yeah, I mean, it would be good to see some more engine failures in GP4.
I can adjust these values too, mechanical failure rate, but once I set this rate a bit too high, and around half the grid crashed out because of suspension failures, brake failures, and engine failures.
Well, we could maybe see, like, we could maybe put it up a bit more, like, for some extra drama.
I can play around with the values a bit, yeah.
Yeah, I'd quite like to see that just go up a bit.
Right now it's at 10% per car, so it's really interesting to see that no one is crashing out because of mechanical failures.
We should see maybe 15% or 20% per car. That would be quite interesting.
I think I'm going to double it for next round. And then half of the grid is crashing out because of it.
See a good race, yeah. We could see a dramatic race now in Interlagos. Of course, a great track.
Let's hope that it will be as interesting as real life F1 this weekend.
Of course, Brazil did produce a classic in real life F1 this weekend.
Well,
hopefully
I nearly slept until until I heard the commentators shout that Bottas' engine is breaking, and after that the race was amazing.
The first 40 laps were pretty bad,
yeah,
but the rest of it was.
That's why I still think Germany was the best race this season.
Of course it was. Yeah, Germany was. You can't challenge Germany, but Brazil was a good race.
A good second, best second race. Second best.
These past 2 years, we have been blessed with some good races, but hopefully the same will happen with Nations Cup.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Maybe the FBRs are going to strike back. We don't know. We will see. Maybe the stewards are not as dumb as we get.
I mean, I trust you more than I trust the FIA, so. Looked like to me that Marco Asma was hit from behind, but that could have just been the way he was driving.
Well, sometimes this indicates that the driver is going to make a mistake or something like this. So
yeah, a lot of the time, the camera will cut to them and they will make a mistake. It doesn't look like that will happen. As we cut to Kubica now, who is doing well in P2. Back to Fittipaldi, who has made some positions up.
And
he's in P6 and he's gone off. Spun, and he doesn't get the ball. Aurelien, I swear. As soon as you say it, it happens.
Nice. Well, that's unfortunate for Brazil and say, but we now have Mansell and Stewart in P5 and 6.
Fittipaldi is off, and there's more yellow flags now at the same corner. Is that just the same incident, or
it's the same because
something else?
Yeah, he couldn't keep going.
Oh, he did actually lose a tire or something, but
maybe he did,
which he didn't do at first. So something, yeah, maybe just Montero. Yeah.
If Alonso wins this race, this is good. This is a really good surprise. A big surprise.
Will be. As it stands right now, Alonso, surprisingly, will be P2 in the championship. Robert Kubica, ever consistent, will in fact move up to P1 with 2 podiums in a row and 33 points. So hopefully for the Polish team, he can make that happen and prove all the doubters wrong and show everyone where he belongs. Just 5 laps remaining now for
He really
it to happen.
He really drags that Red Bull over the track.
And although to be fair, that Red Bull is one of the fastest in the race, I believe. Yeah, the 3rd fastest car in the race. Fernando Alonso is one of the best drivers on the grid, as we have seen.
We now have Andretti in P8. It's a bit of damage reduction for Prima, but I know they wanted to score more points here.
Prima could have scored quite a few today. Potentially even got a podium like they almost did in Melbourne, but they bottled it 2 races in a row. I still feel it's because of that Ferrari livery.
So we have a comment from Prima to what I've just said. They said, Oraline, every race is damage limitation. I'm used to it. Well, you are driving with a Ferrari livery, so...
I mean, that's just how it is for Kramer. You know, he's had a pretty awful race, pretty awful 2 races, and hopefully he can just bring morale back up within the team and score some good results.
Well, what is going on there?
From the Baltic car for P9, so that means Sergei Sorokin's now in P10. And there's another Baltic car behind them in P11. So I think that will be Baltic's first ever points.
Both Baltic cars could score points.
Yeah. Baltic's first ever double points finish. And of course, in this real season, this will be their first points. Could be interesting to see.
Also interesting to see that the top 5 drivers didn't change positions till the start of the race. Even with all the action we had, and this race is way better than we had in Melbourne back 1 week ago. Still interesting to see. Andretti made up 6 positions.
Back of the front pack, so P6 to P10. Giacomo Agostini still stuck behind the Russian car of Sorokin. P18. Doesn't look like he can do much about it now. Very little time left in the race.
I think I really need to adjust the rain values a bit. Can't be that we see that it's going to rain, but it's not going to rain. I hope I get to fix it till next week. So we still have the fight going on for the last points in P10, like we just see right there, with both Baltic cars and one of the Russian racing's cars. And then we switch over to Robert Lucas, who is all alone at P15.
Very quiet race for him.
Not too bad, but...
Where is he on the track at the minute, Robert Lucas?
he's P15. No.
15. And that is Marco Martin into the points now. And it looks like Asma has just disappeared from the points, so maybe locked up or something. No, he's pitted. He's made a late pit stop. Wonder why he's done that.
Maybe he catched up some damage in the fight between the two. I don't know.
It would be quite shocking if that happened. So that would have been possibly why. And that is Agostini still stuck behind a car. As there's yellow flags at turn 4, not sure who. But oh, that's Marco Martin. That's the other Baltic. Baltic has ruined the double points finish. Just like that.
Ruined it. That's a shame. That's a shame for the team principal, Nick Debris.
Yeah, Nick Debris.
That's really a shame. Could have been a double points finish by his team, but
instead he gets 0 brings home a total of 0. Tony Kanaan, that means that he is now in P11 and could potentially bring home Arab Energy's first ever points in this series. So, anything can still happen, of course. The Brazil team could be looking to gain quite a few points. There's PK and P3, of course, and make up a lot of positions in the Constructors' Championship, because they're currently in P8.
Christensen running in a disappointing P17. Like the team principal of Orline Team Nordic said earlier, it looks like Christensen is going to be replaced by one of the reserves for round 3. But
we're getting a report from the Orline garage now that Christensen will be replaced. So big news there, especially what he told us earlier about keeping everyone happy and together as we move on to the final lap. But
it won't be permanently.
Christensen's final race then. Will this be his first ever taste in the Orline car? And it will be over soon. Ralf Schumacher is actually in the points now for Audi after starting solo. He's run a good race, P10 now, so bringing home 1 point for Audi as it stands. French gets 0 points as it stands. Yeah. As for the other teams, I believe that is it. Baltic team will be without points. The Arabic team will be without points as well.
The Audi team, Schumacher is a P10 now, so the Audi team is going to get a point. So
the Audi team. The other team without points, who didn't score points in Australia, is the Russian team. They will score quite a few today.
Yep.
So, who we expected? Arab and Baltic without points here. As here is your race winner, Fernando Alonso from Robert Kubica, who was in fact catching very fast in those closing laps, but wasn't able to get close enough. P3 will likely go to Pedro PK, although Kvyat is close behind.
We're in the point.
Yeah, in fact, yeah. Pedro PK did get P3 from Daniel Kvyat. Mika Hakkinen, P5. Jackie Stewart, P6. Nigel Mansell, P7. Mario Andretti in P8. Taking home 4 points for Kramer in the end. And that is it for the Malaysian Grand Prix today in the Nations Cup. A good race, I would say.
not as good as the pre-season one, but
yeah, it was an okay race.
Fernando
Alonso did very well today. Take his debut win, and Red Bull as well taking their debut win. Kubica leads the championship after this race from Alonso, and Prost, who won in Australia, bottled it today and failed to finish the race, and so will be in what I believe to be P3 or P4 in the championship. Thank you for watching, and it's goodbye from me.
Also from me, I hope next time this colleague named Cyril is not going to leave when one of his drivers is doing shit.